So in the last video, in the previous video, I set up a frame of reference, right? Which was I took my son for him to do his thing at the airport. 4 hours I'm sitting around, still feeling so fulfilled, right? Like I had no regrets about doing it, right? And one of the things that really helped me a lot was trying to figure out, what is my vision of myself, okay? And what do we mean by that? Okay, let me kind of explain this to you. In the business world, right, in my current role, I've done a lot of work around strategy, right? Strategy essentially it says, what are the high level sets of plans or actions, okay, you want to take, okay, to accomplish a certain goal. Not how it's done, not the sequencing, but what is all of it holistically that you would want to do. But generally, the strategy is there to support a vision, right? A company can say, my vision, for instance, Tesla, okay? Elon Musk, right, in his vision for Tesla, does not talk about electric vehicles. I want to sell these many Model S's and Model 3s, and we're going to create electric vehicles. No, it's transition, okay, to renewable energies. That's his vision, right? And clearly he's saying, in the vision of Tesla that it's not Tesla selling cars. What they want is to accelerate the transition. So if there are competitors, okay, they're there to help them as well, right? And be the catalyst that moves them to help others, okay, transition to renewables, right? From that comes the strategy, right? So the strategy then is, what do I need to do this? Well, I need to have batteries in place. I need to have charging stations. I need to have some kind of a product, in this case, cars, Model S, 3, Y, Cybertruck, whatever you have, right? That's happening in that sense. That's then the vision leads to the strategy. So my question to you, if you've ever thought about it, right? What is the vision you have for your life? Have you thought about it? Have you thought about, what is it at the end of it all that you would want to be remembered for, or maybe not be remembered for, right? And there's no right or wrong to it, right? The question is, do you understand yourself? Are you even clear, okay, what it is that you're expecting from yourself, so that the decisions you make today are part of the journey of reaching the vision of your life. And these visions, right, it's not like, by next year, I want to do a master's so that I can become a vice president or a CEO or a CIO or a manager. That's not the vision. That is too short term, right? That is also too prescriptive, okay? That is literally, right, in calculus. And if any of you have read calculus or math, I'm sorry if you don't. I tend to use these analogies sometimes, right? In calculus, there's the whole concept of global maxima, local maxima, okay? And everything you see about in artificial intelligence, machine learning, or these advanced topics, right, that, computer geeks talk about, and by the way, I'm a computer geek as well, okay, we talk about sometimes, it's really focused on knowing what is your end goal and what's the best way to get there, okay? So if I want to go from, where I live, okay, and, I could do one of two ways. One is I can say, let me just step out of my house, get in my car and start driving. And I'll make a right turn and a left turn and a right turn. And people will tell me, hey, go left, go right, aimlessly, okay? Or I could come out and say, no, my goal is to get to the beach. Now what turns do I need to take? Right? So that's another way. It's a very simple way to look at it. It's not rocket science, okay? But the question is, have you done it? And if you haven't, here's a line of thinking that I used in my case. And it's not perfect. It may be completely wrong, okay? So please do not use this, okay, as some kind of a sure shot way to figure out, right, that this is the recipe for success. But here's what I did for myself, right? I really don't have or didn't have any goals, didn't think about it, right? All I knew was, yeah, I want to get more money. I want to be promoted. I want to be recognized by more and more people. I want to feel good about myself, right? So people see me and they say, oh, look at all his accomplishments and he did so well and stuff like that, right? And that's the way I thought, right? I mean, for the longest time in my life, that's the way, most of us are brought up, That's the way, our parents, uncles, aunts, they kind of condition us when we are young. That's how our friends talk to us in school. That's how we're competitive. When you come out, you become a young adult, you're getting into the job market, you start doing your first jobs. That's how you're measured. So this is like built into you, right? I mean, it comes subconsciously, it becomes part of your DNA at the end of the day. So how do you go about, okay, even in the most basic way, figuring out, okay? And one of the things, skills I use in my work and, which requires sometimes problem solving is, sometimes it's not the stuff that you want. Sometimes it's the stuff you don't want that's easier to figure out, right? And that's what I did, okay? And, every once in a while, jokingly, I tell my son, I'm going to live till I'm 140 because I need to see you till 100 years old. And the reason why is because when you have grandkids and great-grandkids, I'm still going to kiss you and hug you in public. Now, I tell him that jokingly, right? But underneath that, there is an intrinsic truth, which is, for me, my daughter, my son, my wife, right? My family, right? I really, really cherish my moments of life with them. And I cannot put a number on it, but I feel it. And that feeling stays with me. And that feeling makes me happy. It makes me positive. It makes me look forward to the next day. And even when the chips are down, I have these feelings, right, that are woven with all these memories, senses, smells, right, that are there, that I can fall back on, right? And that's the truth, right? Everything cannot be a number, no matter what the scientists tell you, no matter what the mathematicians will tell you. Everything is not a number, and that is what is so special about us being human beings, is we can feel and we can maintain that fabric of memories, senses, tastes, sounds, right, that are attached to that feeling that you get, that it comes flooding back to you even decades after you've experienced something. So it's coming back. Sorry for the digression on that, but coming back to it, right? Here's what I thought, right? So let's just shoot for something, right? Say, Kamal, what is it you want from your life? Say, well, what is it that I don't want from my life, right? I don't want to be remembered as somebody, like, I live for some number of years on the planet, and everybody can literally summarize my life in saying, oh, these are the number of dollars with these many zeros that he has in his bank account. Essentially, I put in all this work on this planet, lived all these years, had all these fantastic experiences, met all these wonderful people. But my life, if somebody had to explain it in one sentence, would be like, oh, Kamal has X, comma, 000, comma, 000, comma, 00, any number of zeros, right? 1 to whatever, right? That was his life. So now that gave me clarity. I discovered something about myself, right? That I didn't want to be remembered just for that. Now the flip side, right, is what is it that I would miss the most? Right? And as I told you, right, I mean, especially post my transformation, what I would miss the most right, are these moments, really special moments that I get to spend with my family, with my friends. And you may think this is kind of corny, even my colleagues, okay? So this is just it was so funny because I was never like this 5 years ago, okay? So one way to say, like I said, is what am I gonna miss? And I realized I'm gonna miss these moments with my family. And that was like such an aha moment of self-realization, of self-awareness. And my ask of you is, why don't you do that on your own? I didn't tell anybody what I was thinking. And believe me, it doesn't come every day. It took me days, weeks, months to get clarity on it. But it was always there at the back of my mind, thinking. And one day I got the clarity. So don't be impatient with yourself, okay? Accept yourself, okay? Enjoy the process, okay? But think about the vision for yourself, what it is, okay, that you want your life to be defined by. Okay? For me, it turned out, and I could create an elevator pitch out of it, right, which is like a 30-second pitch, is at the end of my life, right, if I could look back and say, until the day I died, okay, I could be mentally aware and alert, be physically capable, okay, intellectually inspired, okay, to recognize and appreciate these magic moments with my family, whoever's left behind. Okay, maybe I'm the lucky one and the first one to go, but until that time, okay, mentally, okay, physically, emotionally, right, I want to be healthy, alert, okay, and of good senses to enjoy these moments. That became my life vision. And it was like, I couldn't believe it. Like, it took days and months to get there, but I could say, this is what I want at the end of my life. Now, you can always change it, but at least you have a foundation now to build off of, right? Now you can say, hey, what do I do going forward, right? So this was the first kind of, step in peeling the onion, trying to get more clarity. In the next video, we go about, okay, so what does that mean, right? In terms of my actions today, the decisions I make today, okay? And how should I transform my life, right? Do I need to transform my life? Am I okay what I'm doing? Or are there certain things I could do differently? I could plan differently? Maybe not today. Maybe a month from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, stuff like that. And it's pretty interesting because when I took that approach coming in, okay, suddenly, I had a plan of action, what I needed to do. So more to be shared, okay, in the videos ahead. I hope that whetted your appetite for the visioning part. What is the vision of your life? Okay. And then we just go deeper and deeper into this rabbit hole, okay? Enjoy. I hope this was beneficial to you, right? If you have any doubts, any questions, please share, comment. I love to get your feedback, okay? None of this stuff is a science. All of this stuff is an art, okay? That's all I want to tell you. I'll see you in the next video.